What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nathan Skills, and today we're going to be talking about one of the best farm routes in the game and what everybody is still running and still holds up as one of the best farm routes for getting materials. And not only that, you can get some really good loot items. There's a lot of gear boxes, a lot of weapon boxes throughout this farm route. A lot of you guys might say, well, it must be solar farm. And well, yes, it does include part of solar farm. That's just a small part of this run. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the full route, and that way you guys can kind of see exactly what I'm doing in this video. So the route starts exactly where I pinpointed, and it's going to do a full circle. So you're going to go from solar farm over to sinkhole, and then past sinkhole all the way to Metro Ruins, but we're not going to end up in Metro Ruins itself. So in between the control point for the Down Air Force One and solar farm, you're going to have a big grassy area that has a couple buildings in here, and in this area you're going to find some weapon boxes, some loot boxes, and a lot of farming material. A lot of times you do get a boss that spawns in this general area. So we just killed one of the 52 card bosses, and we'll pick up that card in just a second. I'm going to clear out the area and then continue on with the farm route. One tip I would tell you guys is if you guys could have at least solar farm and the sinkhole control points captured, this will be a lifesaver and definitely be something you guys want to do. So the first weapon box is going to be right here, and this is at the very start of our run. I get a purple item, going to deconstruct it. We get some materials that we're going to pick up, and then there's a lot of crafting materials. Once you guys get into end game, if you guys are already in end game, I know we got a lot of new players just finally get into end game, you guys are going to need crafting materials. You get another loot box right here, weapon box, and all of those crafting materials are used to craft weapon mods, weapons, and gear. They're also used to help to recalibrate, and before you know it, you will start recalibrating your weapons and you will start recalibrating your gear, because you're going to want to put a better roll on that gear. Say if you have a low weapon damage roll and you're like, you know what, I want to get a higher weapon damage roll, well, you're going to want to re-roll that, right? And before you know that, you'll start recalibrating almost every single one of your weapons and every single one of your gear items, and that's all going to cost crafting items. So I tend to do this run 1 to 2 times a day, because okay, those loot boxes, like the weapon boxes, the gear boxes, those spawn every 24 hours, so you can't do that twice a day. But the crafting material boxes tend to spawn a little bit more. I'm not sure how often they spawn because I've never really paid attention to that. I noticed I can do it at least twice a day for sure, so maybe if I get on early, I'll do it. If I take a break and I come back later on in the day, I can do it again. If one of you guys knows exactly what the respawn rate is for those crafting material boxes, the ones that give you steel, electronics, any of those items, let me know in the comment section, and that'd be helpful for not only me but the subscribers who watch this video. One other thing I'll tell you, if you look at the boxes, you see how they're glowing and I can see them through the walls and they're glowing. I recommend doing this run at night, and then also to make sure that you can actually see the boxes like that, you need to head to a control point. Once you're at a control point that you have taken over, you can talk to these control point officers, and as long as you have these materials above 50, you'll see I have detection 2. Donating enough resources to control point activates better detection of hostiles on a 20-meter radius for 10 minutes. This also works with your items. So detecting items within a 20-meter radius, that's great, right? Because we can detect those loot boxes for gear, weapon items, and then of course all the crafting material. And just look at this part right here. I can see things through the wall, and that makes it a lot easier for me to not miss any crafting materials. Now that's why I tell you to do it at night, because it even stands out more at night when you are searching for these items. Now remember, this is a perk you have to have unlocked at the base of operation. So you can go to the base of operation and then talk to the base of operation officer, unlock this perk, and then as long as you have this perk unlocked, and then you head to any control point, and when you donate these resources, you'll be able to see the items like I'm seeing them right here. We have another gearbox right here, and what was that, 2 weapon boxes, 3 gearboxes, and we still haven't even made it to solar farm, right? So that's why I tell you the route includes solar farm, but it's not only solar farm, because there's a lot of loot before and after solar farm, and then before and after sinkhole. So we're gonna get the rest of this loot right here, and then I think we have some enemies in front of us we might have to take out. So I'm going to take out these enemies right in front of me, and then once I take them out, I'm going to continue on with the route. And that's what's cool about this too, because sometimes when you kill these enemies, they end up dropping you some good loot. And who doesn't love good loot, right? Easy enemies to kill. And we have some more crafting material right when you come on the other side of this. That's why I like this area. And whenever I'm looking for stuff, when I'm looking for gear, I'll stop here because look, another gear box. I mean, it was purple, but we have a weapon box, and then we have a gold weapon 493. Not too bad. I'm probably going to deconstruct that anyway. And then more crafting material. So just in this area, I think we hit 3 weapon boxes and 3 gear boxes, or 4 gear boxes. Also, if you don't have all your apparel, remember the open world does drop apparel, but once you max out on that, you won't get any more. And look, we have another weapon box up here. Nothing I need, so I'll just loot it. And then the great thing about all this, if you guys are running low on money, you can sell all this, or if you're low on materials, you can deconstruct it. So now we just got to the edge of Solar Farm, and we still have some more materials we can pick up right before we enter it. And if a lot of you seen one of my videos where I talk about Solar Farm being one of the best and easiest routes you can do, it really is. There's a lot you can get from Solar Farm just by farming Solar Farm. So sometimes if you don't feel like doing this full route, you can just come to Solar Farm, and that's what we're going to do right here, and then we'll continue on. Let me show you the exact route we just finished doing though. So if you look closely, you can see the little white line. So we zigzagged in and out. So the Air Force One is to the right. We hit the whole area between the Air Force One and Solar Farm, and now we're going to hit Solar Farm. With Solar Farm, I like starting on the out and then working my way in. Got another weapon box right there. We got some more material around this tent right here. I'm going to go back and get the material that I missed right here. And I'm starting to max out. If you look on my map, I'm starting to leave stuff because I've been doing this route for a while, and I really haven't been recalibrating too much. So we're going to cut back, and there's a couple boxes behind us. I always like finishing one side and then working my way to the other side. So I'll do half a Solar Farm, and then I'll turn around, make sure I get the other half, and then I'll finish off with the other end. You could do a full circle and then do the full inner, but that's really up to you. She's got more crafting material. And the great thing about this is now that I'm at Solar Farm, I know that 10 minutes is almost up, right? Because we've almost been farming this for about 10 minutes. I think we're like at 8 minutes or so. So I can always talk to the control point officer once the 10 minutes wears off, and that way I can still see the boxes. So what do we have right here? Another gear box. Not bad rolls, not bad rolls. So I believe that the timer just ran out because I'm not seeing any items light up anymore. So I'm going to go talk to the control point officer right now after I grab these materials right here. You see how the boxes aren't lit up anymore? Yeah, see, they're not lit up at all. But let's go talk to him first, and then we're going to grab that weapon box and then that loot box. So there we go. We activated it already, so everything starts to light up again. We have a gearbox in here. We're going to pick this up. And then we have a weapon box. And looks like we have some enemies outside, so let's finish them off. Alright, we can continue on now. Now everything should be lighting up again.
We survived.
Got a loot box right there in front of us to the left. We got a apparel backpack. Just gave us some components. Okay, you jump over this. I think we have one down below. Yeah, so Solar Farm is one of my favorite runs to do if you don't have time to do anything else. This is definitely a nice little run you can do because there is a lot of crafting material here, and you can do this more than once a day. And then if you're lucky, the first time you do the weapon boxes, you'll get some good weapons, right? I've gotten some really good weapons out of these boxes, so I always try to do this once a day, if anything, because there's just so many weapon boxes around here that you have a chance of getting a high rolled item. And we're almost finished. I think we have a couple more crafting material boxes, and I think we have one weapon box and one more gear box. There used to be a lot more weapon boxes at Solar Farm, and they nerfed it a little bit, but it still has a lot of really good items. Then we got a weapon box to the left, right here. Hunting M44 has pretty good damage. I'm gonna take that. Might save it for later. Got a gearbox right here. Nothing I need is purple. Grab this crafting material. And I think we're pretty much done with this route. I think we hit everything. It's starting to turn daytime, so it's going to be a little bit harder for us to see everything. That's why I recommend if you start this route right when it gets dark. And you see we just cleared out all of Solar Farm, and now we're going to do the area in between Solar Farm and Sinkhole. Now once we get past Solar Farm, I like to go into the area that's just north of the area in between Solar Farm and Sinkhole. So there's like some tents, pretty much like a small camp that you can go into. So it's just north of me, right here. So this area that's like kind of a camp that's set up, there's a lot of crafting material in here. So if you're really low on crafting material still after doing the first part of the map, this is for you right here. There's just a bunch in here. I'm gonna let you just watch this part right here, and then we'll talk about when we get closer to the next weapon and gearbox. Now once you get near the end of the campsite, you're gonna see a weapon box right here, so make sure you guys don't miss that. Pick up the weapon box, nothing I needed, and then we're gonna continue on. There's a couple more crafting materials here. There's some special ammo if you want to pick it up right there, and just one or two more crafting materials I missed. Now that I cleared out this campsite over here, I like going back through the middle of the grassy area. There's a building or like a little tent that says JTF, and then there's some crafting material in here too, so you want to pick this up if you're really struggling with that crafting material. And then we're going to cut to the opposite side because I know there's some more gearboxes over here, and I'm pretty sure there's a weapon box around here somewhere. So the gearbox is right above us, just saw it. There's definitely some more crafting material around here.
Friendly supply convoy detected.
We got another gearbox here. Nothing I needed. I'm gonna cut across. There's gonna be a weapon box directly in front of me. I'm gonna pick this one up first, but there's a weapon box right there. Pick that up. Some more crafting material right here. And that's why I like farming both sides. So I'll do the bottom side of a circle, and then I'll come back and do the top side. Because what did we get on this side? We got 2 gearboxes and 1 weapon box. What is your favorite farming route? What do you guys like to farm in the Division 2 when you guys are looking for materials, or where you're looking for gearboxes when it doesn't take a lot of time? Like, I feel like this route isn't too bad. If you want to cut it down, you don't have to do the full route, but for about 20 minutes of your time, to almost fill up on all of your crafting materials, to get multiple gearboxes, get multiple weapon boxes, and then a chance of fighting a couple bosses here and there. Like you saw at the very beginning, I saw one boss and I was able to get one of the 52 cards, and he dropped a couple items. For a chance at that and not having to use too much effort or worry about dying, I think this is probably the best route in the game still to this day. Now, if there's a route that you think is a little bit better, let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I'll do a video on it, and then I'll let everybody know, hey, look, somebody in the comment section was talking about this route. It's definitely a really good route. I know you guys liked my best farming video a while back. We had a lot of views, a lot of really good comments, and a lot of you guys like that one because it's simple. It takes about 5 minutes to complete, and it's not hard. This is another weapon box right here. That's why I tell you, a lot of weapon boxes. I got a CTAR 21. There's a lot of gearboxes. So it's not only about crafting materials. What I need to do is I'm going to deconstruct all this stuff because I don't really need it right now. But I'm probably not going to get any crafting material because I'm packed on crafting material. So I hope they bump this up in the next patch. I think they said they were. But now at least I can pick up the CTAR and I can use it later. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab that. What else do we have? We got some more materials. But yeah, so now we are at the sinkhole. The sinkhole to me doesn't really have a lot of loot. You have the loot boxes that are inside the supply room, but besides that, not a lot of loot. You can see the route that we just did. We zigzagged in between, and now we're gonna pass a sinkhole and then do the area after the sinkhole, and that's near the end of the route. But in the sinkhole itself, there's a couple loot spots, but not a lot in my opinion. Nothing too crazy, so it's really up to you if you really want to farm this area or not, if you want to pass it. I usually farm it if I'm going to have it unlocked because I want to go to the supply room, right? Because the supply room is going to give me a chance of getting one weapon, one gear item, and then of course it gives me 2 crafting materials. So we'll cut across right now. We'll open those up. And I'm not sure if I've done it within the last 24 hours, so I might not be able to open it, but we'll see in just a second. Because remember, those boxes, all these weapon boxes, all these gear boxes only spawn every 24 hours. But the crafting boxes, they continue to spawn. So yeah, we're good here. Yeah, so I already opened up. You see how they're still open? That means it hasn't been 24 hours, so they haven't been able to reset. So I'm just gonna run out of here. Like I said, the sinkhole doesn't have a lot of crafting materials, not a lot of boxes in general. You can pretty much pass this one if you want, and then just start farming right on the opposite side. So once you come out of here, there's a lot of boxes. That's what's weird. In the sinkhole itself, not a lot of boxes, and this is the route we're gonna do. The route right after the sinkhole. Pretty much just hug the north and then cut across and then hug the south. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the run right here and then let you finish off with watching the remainder of the run, and we'll talk at the very end.
Detected. The control point in proximity.
And that is the end of the run right there. You can continue on to Metro Ruins if you guys would like, but I feel that stopping about here is perfectly fine. So we start, we work our way all the way to Solar Farm, we work our way through Solar Farm, then we work our way to Sinkhole, and then we finish off right before we get to Metro Ruins. Now, if some of you guys want to take over Metro Ruins, there are some more crafting materials in there, but I feel that once you get this far, you're pretty much good to go, and you can stop right there. The run should take you about 20 minutes total to do the whole run if you speed through it, and then especially if you already have the control points, you don't have to worry about taking over those control points. If we take a look at my materials, you'll see that I'm almost full on everything. The one thing I'm not full on is titanium, and then of course electronics. Those are the ones you tend to use the most when you are crafting, but everything else fully maxed out, and I believe that they are going to max these numbers a little bit higher in the future. This is my route. This is the route that I like doing. I think it's the best route in the game, and I feel that a lot of you guys, if you guys do it, you guys can take advantage of it. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the description box. As always, if you don't see me in the dark zone, if you don't see me in conflict, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills out.